And this is one of those things I want to just kind of walk through with everybody because I don't. So here it is. This is Buster Posey. Yeah. Something I think is noteworthy, something that unfortunately, thank you, Sam, something I think is noteworthy, something that unfortunately keeps popping up from players and even the players' wives, is there's a bit of uneasiness with the city itself as far as the state of things with crime and drugs. Whether that's all completely fair or not, perception is reality. It's a frustrating cycle, I think, and not just with baseball. Baseball's secondary. But as far as a free agent pursuit goes, I have seen that it does affect things. Let me just,
go ahead, man.
My first thought was, what's the big deal? But I think part of it is somebody saying that it's okay to say that, but he didn't stick up for the city after that.
And
by saying, look, there's a perception out there, and we got to fight against it. I guess, should he have said, and it's not true either. I don't know.
Well, the whole thing is, Steiny, your job, I'm talking about Farhan, to everybody, when you're selling something, is to overcome it. So it just sounded like, oh, the city has it, it's trash, nobody wants to come here. That's not the case. Let's problem solve and get somebody in there, not with the gift of gab, because that means you're selling somebody a lemon or something that's dysfunctional. The city has some things that are positive, Steiny, and what he said about it's bigger than the sport and it's about life and security. I get all that. Hit me in the cardiac muscle. But damn it, Steiny, you know me. Overcome that. Because we could go get all the numbers and the data in L.A. and the crime and what have you, and the bippers would be no different than L.A. or New York. But I do got to say this, partner. You, unfortunately, are on my IG list, and I send you videos. And there's a video scrolling out there now about how all these stores, high-end stores, this is where I feel like a hypocrite, are leaving the city. And it makes me sad when I see it, and it's like, wow, and then I forward that to you. Not to laugh or this is where I work, this is where we grew up, but I'm just telling you, Steiny, when you say something and you don't close a deal and you leave it the way Buster left it, you're saying that's the reason, and there's nothing we can do to fix it. I'm starting to say, because people were saying, man, you get Buster in on these negotiations, oh boy. And now all of a sudden, the fans are feeling like, okay, we're still losing said player, and now we're going to write it off. So in those meetings, Steiny, if I'm in there and I'm a free agent, hey, what about the crime and the homeless issue? It sounds like Buster Posey like, well, you know what? You're right. You shouldn't come here. Like, come on. There's got to be a way to combat and sell what's beautiful about this city.
Well, see, this is where
because I'm not going to sit here and tell you, Matt Steiny, that I don't feel the way you do about your walk yesterday, but I also know some stuff is going on. But I believe some stuff is going on in New York. I damn sure know what's going on in L.A.
See,
but you're saying the perception in
like,
LA and New York ain't like it is
Here's
here.
what I take exception to. You said that what Buster Posey's essentially saying is that's the reason we don't get free agents. He didn't say that. He said it's noteworthy, it's come up, there's uneasiness. He didn't say, well, we can't get anybody here. Somebody asked him a question about it, and he said, yeah, what do you want me to tell you? There's uneasiness. And
those are heavy issues.
But you also said he's saying there's nothing we can do to fix it. He never said that. He never said that. Like, he's just saying we got a perception issue that we have to overcome. Like, I don't
it's not going to be fixed
that.
by next offseason when there's a free agent possibly that could don
it's not going to be fixed for decades.
No doubt.
Because I moved out here 30 years ago.
The world's different than when you moved out here, too.
But that's the point. Maybe I wouldn't move out here today. I don't know. Yeah. I don't live in the East Coast and get to see the perception of San Francisco nationally.
So, Steiny, as a Giant fan, is that good enough, though? That's what this boils down to. Like, if they don't get a free agent and they meet and this continues, or do we got the right people talking? Because if that's the issue, Giant fans guess what? Like you said, Stein's going to take forever and a day to fix the perception, and you may not even fix it. Right. Who can sell the city as is? That to me, because that's all you got.
Buster Posey to me said nothing wrong. Nothing. He did not denigrate San Francisco. He talked about its perception. Mike's in San Francisco. What's up, Mike? How you doing, buddy? Hey, Mike.
Mikey.
Oh, hold on. Let's we'll wait for a second. Yeah. We got. We'll get to calls in a second.
I just, you know what? You're doing a good job at pointing out what triggers me about the perception as reality. And now I'm starting to say, okay, you didn't say LA doesn't have issues, or New York, or Boston. What you're saying is, Goo, the San Francisco has that. So you're saying Buster was saying, whether it's true or not, people think it is.
Exactly. That's all he said. I told you.
Right.
2 months ago, I go on a golf trip with 12 guys from Pennsylvania, New York, Philadelphia. Do you know how much grief I took from them about crap they don't know about? Wow. I just did.
And, that's told me that.
It's funny. It's kind of funny. I don't care. Oh, Steiny, slip on hypodermic needles on your way to work today? It's like, no.
Wow.
Like,
right.
The only thing I can do is laugh at them
for
falling for this exaggerated perception of the city. But I can tell you, it's real.
And there's a lot of people on the text line saying what ails the city. And I'm not saying it's perfect, but I guess, Donnie, at the end of the day, you need somebody in there to combat that. And again, you see what I'm saying? And if Buster can't get past that, he didn't say he could, but at the end of the day, Giant fans are going to come to that park predicated on who they're coming to see.
All right, 888-957-9570 is the number. Let's jump into some calls.
All right.
Let's go to Mike. Mike in San Francisco. How you doing, Mike? Welcome to the show. Thanks for listening.
Mikey.
Hey, thanks. Hey, I'd like to start off. I'm 58, born and raised in San Francisco. I've been a civil servant for San Francisco for 34 years. And San Francisco has its warts, no doubt. But like my daughter goes to school in L.A., I visit her all the time. We're no different than L.A., but the national perception, I don't think, during this political climate with Nancy Pelosi being part of San Francisco has had this barrage of media attention,
right,
that's making it worse than it is.
I agree.
It is worse than it was. There's no doubt about it. But there are people that are trying, like, if you notice, planter boxes going up around the city. I call it urban landscaping, but you see people kind of attacking the problem, putting planter boxes so there's no room for a tent.
Sure.
I don't know if people know at Pier 95, there's a sea of travel trailers for the people that actually want to get off the street and need a little help. The city is constantly trying to help, but I went to Trevor Noah the other night.
Yeah.
He did about 25 minutes on San Francisco, and he said, just like you, when he said San Francisco, they act like he was going to a war-torn country.
Right. Right, and that's a joke.
Yeah, it is lazy.
Right.
San Diego, I don't think is. Yes.
No, you go. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. So San Diego is not as bad as LA. A little more conservative. I go there for a race every year, but it has problems too. They sure sign stars. LA sure signs stars.
Preach.
So I just want to say there are people out here. There are meetings going on. Everybody's trying their best. If you go to Union Square, they got blue carpets for 2 blocks. It looks like they're about to set up food trucks. You got cops everywhere. The city is trying, just like APAC. They clean things up. We need to take that momentum and keep going. And the last thing I want to say is born and raised in the city, Little League, SFYBL, go to Reardon, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people. It's a small city.
Right, it is.
I've never seen a homeless person I know. They're all coming from other states because
Gotcha.
we got great weather and we give them benefits and everything,
All right.
and we're compassionate.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate the call. I feel like I'm with Mike. I love San Francisco. It's like my little brother. You know, I can make fun of San Francisco, but you can if you're not from here. Seriously. And I do not believe San Francisco is if we're ranking cities, I don't think San Francisco's worse than any, California, LA, San Diego, Sacramento, San Francisco. Yeah, they're all the same. Yeah. They all got pluses and minuses. But for some reason, Buster Posey's saying, everybody thinks San Francisco's the nadir. We got to change that. San Francisco's like everybody else.
But I would ask Buster also, Steiny, is twofold. How are you dealing and what are you guys saying more than just him when that comes up? And maybe you're not the right person to be in the room when that comes up.
You know
what I'm saying? Like,
I want Buster Posey in that room because I don't care what he said. He's got more credibility than anybody else in that room. He's got more credibility than Farhan. Got more credibility than Kapler.
But the results are the results.
Like Buster Posey is Steph Curry. And that's the other thing Buster Posey, people. He loves San Francisco.
Yeah, but he ain't from here.
I'm not
going to love it,
but
like
I'm not
he's
either.
From here.
I'm not either.
All right, and I'm not comparing you to Buster Posey. I'm saying you'll never love here like somebody that is born and raised here. The love is different. Ain't no the love is different. And I can't either. I'm from Union City, been here my whole life. I love this city, but I can't claim it more than Bonte or Joe Shasky.